Yo yo, it's Trailblazer, so time for some BattleTech tactics. Today I wanted to kind of talk about a question that I've thought a lot about. Everybody knows that Innersphere XL engines are kind of not so great for a mech's survivability, so when is it worth still taking a mech that has an Innersphere XL engine? Okay, hold on, let's back up, make sure we're all on the same page. What are we talking about? So if you take a look at this example, the Crusader 5M of a mech with an Innersphere XL engine, you will see, of course, it has 3 extra engine criticals on each side torso. Now 3 is kind of a magic number here because, surprise, surprise, the number of engine critical hits that it takes to destroy a mech is 3. What this means is if either of the side torsos on this mech are destroyed, then the mech will be destroyed in total. So losing either the left torso or the right torso is sufficient to kill the Crusader. So it's obvious how this affects the longevity of the mech. You know, once shots start getting through armor, none of the torso locations is really a safe place to be hit, and you're going to, statistically speaking, lose this mech more quickly than you will lose a mech with a standard engine that only has engine criticals in the center torso. Now one question is, what are the situations where the Innersphere XL engine is not so bad for a mech's survivability? We'll take a look at this example, one of my favorite XL engine equipped mechs, the Curita catapult that has PPCs as its main weapons. This mech doesn't carry any ammunition, so there's nothing that's going to explode and destroy those side torsos. You need to actually do the damage directly to them with weapons. And additionally, the side torsos are pretty well packed with heat sinks. So the thing is not going to, you're not going to hit them and very easily crit out all 3 of those engine criticals. Additionally, the mech has maximum armor for its tonnage, so it's going to take quite some time, a lot of the time, for weapons fire to bust through and start damaging those internal side torsos. So even though it has an extra light engine, the mech is going to have pretty good longevity on the battlefield, definitely better than some mechs that have standard engines but don't have that much armor and that mount a bunch of ammunition. Another mech that does a good job of making an XL engine work is the Avatar B. Now you're going to look at this and think, well, that's got a whole lot of ammo in those side torsos. How does that make an XL engine work? The reason is it's a long-range missile-based design, and so in a lot of games, you're only going to want to be using it, or you're going to primarily want to be using it for indirect fire. And so if you play this thing right, it's not going to be taking that many hits. It has decent armor, so if it takes a few hits, that's fine. And hopefully you're going to keep it out of line of sight for the enemy for basically the whole game. So this is a mech that will work well having an XL engine because it's not likely to take hits unless you're playing it wrong. And as another example of a mech that makes the XL engine work pretty well, there's the Venom. Now, the Venom's not the world's greatest mech. I mean, it has single heat sinks for one thing. But a thing that it does well is, well, it makes speed into its defense. It's going to be jumping 8 hexes a turn and working up a +4 target movement modifier. So this mech's going to be hard to hit. And it's designed to not be resilient. It's got light armor anyway, and it's a light mech. So even if it didn't have the XL engine, once it started actually taking hits, it would be going down real fast anyway. So the XL engine doesn't incrementally increase the mech's lack of survivability by that much. It wouldn't be survivable even if it didn't have the XL engine. But primarily, the thing that makes it okay with an XL engine is that it's moving fast, and that's its defense, and so it doesn't need to be able to take hits if you're playing it the way that it's intended. Even better along similar lines, and you're not going to be surprised to hear me say this if you've heard me talk about this mech before, even better is the Wraith, because it actually has some decent longevity in terms of its armor, and it's got that extra speed, and the extra speed is possible for a mech of its weight, because it's mounting an XL engine. There's no other way that a 55-ton mech would be able to go as fast as the Wraith can go. And so, combined, the speed that you get from the XL, plus the armor that the Wraith has, plus the structure it gets from being as heavy as it is and going that fast, you get a mech that will last on the battlefield, despite the fact that it has an XL engine. The fact that it doesn't mount any ammunition is a bonus in this regard. So the Wraith is a nice example of using an XL engine to the best possible effect. And the final point I want to make, which is maybe the one that hasn't occurred to a lot of players, is that the badness of an XL engine is very much mitigated in a situation like where you are playing with the forced withdrawal rules. Because the forced withdrawal rules, what they say is any mech, even if it has a standard engine, has to start retreating once it's lost a side torso. Well, if you got to start retreating anyway once you lose a side torso, that doesn't make it so bad when the destruction of a side torso kills the mech. So if you're playing with forced withdrawal, which a lot of official, FOSSA scenarios from back in the day require, then in that situation, it's not so bad to have an XL engine mech, because you'd only be destroyed in a situation where you would have to start retreating anyway if your mech had a standard engine. So just to sum up, the points I've been making, the situations where an XL engine isn't so bad are these kind of situations. First, the mech has little or no ammo and it has maximum armor. That's a situation where an XL engine, it reduces the survivability of the mech, but not by a crazy amount. The second is if the mech is an indirect fire specialist like that Avatar, then it doesn't need to be so resilient, and having an XL engine isn't so bad for that kind of a mech. Third, if the mech is a fast, medium, or heavy mech like that Wraith, well then it can have good resiliency because of its speed, and that's a speed that it might not be able to have if it didn't have an XL engine. So that's a really good situation for a mech to be in if it's using an XL engine. And finally, XL engines aren't so bad at all if you are playing with the forced withdrawal optional rules. So if you're in a situation where multiple of these conditions are met, like maybe you are playing with forced withdrawal rules and you're thinking about taking a Wraith, or you're playing with forced withdrawal and you're thinking about taking that Avatar B with the indirect fire specialty, well, those are the kind of situations where you should have no hesitation at all about taking a mech with an XL engine. On the other hand, if you are in a knockdown, drag-out fight with no forced withdrawal rules, and you're thinking about taking a mech that has some ammo on board, well then in that situation, you probably don't want an extra light engine.